What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the All-In Woodsman. My name is Trey Worsham, and today we're going to be looking at how to clean our blackstone. But not just clean our blackstone, but how to clean our blackstone when the inevitable happens. When water gets on our griddle and stays on our griddle for more than a couple hours because of an accident or whatever happens. When that situation happens, what do you got to do to get it back to cooking shape? Y'all stick around, I'm going to show you how. All right, so we're still down here in Gulf Shores, Alabama on vacation with our family. The weather's been on and off all week long so far, but we love cooking on our blackstone at home. So guess what? We lugged our 36-inch blackstone down here with us to the beach because let's be honest, it makes cooking for a large group of people so much easier to do. But with that, I had an incident last night. So we got done cooking some grilled chicken, had the entire griddle covered up with chicken, cleaned it all up. It was nice and messy, sticky, marinade on this griddle, got it all cleaned up. It was beautiful, it was pristine. Well, I turned the griddle off, went and ate dinner. The griddle was still cooling down when I got done with dinner. We went out to the beach to do some fishing, and guess what? By the time we came back in from the beach, it was pouring rain. So we are covered with a porch above us, but there is no cover on the porch above us. And so what happened was my entire griddle was left open. I had probably an inch of water over the entire griddle. All I could do in the moment was throw my hard cover on top and then cover it up with my plastic cover just to limit the amount of water that was going to get on there further, because it was supposed to rain the entire night, but I couldn't clean that griddle because the water was still continuously coming down on top. So there's no way for me to clean. So fast forward, we're a day later. It has sat. This morning I got as much water off as I could, but there's still some issues with this griddle. And so it shouldn't take long, but I want to show you how I go about getting this griddle back in cooking shape for cooking dinner tonight, which we're doing tacos. That's a different story. But let me bring you in. Let me show you exactly what this griddle looks like right now before we start cleaning it. All right, so I'm gonna bring you in here. All right, we're gonna turn it around. Here we go. So as you can see, I've got a few little rust spots that have kind of popped up, especially back here in this corner along my grease trap. Then obviously we're not level, so I still have some water sitting back here and definitely a few little rusty spots there and then some stuff in the corner. But overall, it doesn't look terrible, but it's definitely lacking that finish that we want, that oily finish that I normally leave my griddle with. So first things first, we're gonna get this griddle fired up and we're gonna work on getting that water off. And then we're just gonna do a little scraping and hopefully we will be ready to go in just a few short minutes and back ready to cook. All right, so there's a few things you're gonna need before you get started. First things first, whenever I'm using my griddle, I'm using normally a significant amount of paper towels. My wife hates how many paper towels I go through when I'm using the griddle. It just makes it easy to wipe down and to throw them straight away. So I have my paper towels on my paper towel holder. I will normally have some type of heat resistant glove. These are rubber. I wear these with my smoker. So they're not perfect. They will melt on the griddle if I'm not careful, but they allow me to get a lot closer to this hot griddle than my bare hands would. You can also use the Blackstone gloves that they sell. They work great, but it just protects your hands when you're dealing with a really, really hot griddle, cleaning all the nooks and crannies of this griddle. Definitely something that I recommend if you're cleaning it thoroughly. I'm using also, thirdly, the cleaning pads, the bristles from Blackstone. This is meant for kind of to take a little bit more off than just a paper towel. It's definitely coarse. They sell an attachment that you can put this on to clean your griddle. I'm just going to use it by itself. with my gloves should work fine. But this will help kind of get those rusty spots back down to where we want them, get rid of that rust so that it's not gonna end up in our food. And then last but not least, once we've got all the rust and the water and everything cleaned off, we just need some more oil. I'm using avocado oil. It's my favorite oil to use on the Blackstone. We're gonna use this oil to re-season just this entire Blackstone surface to get it nice and oiled up and to re-season any of those rusty spots that have been removed. So those are the things that you're gonna need. So without further ado, let's get this thing fired up and get it cleaned because we got cooking to do. All right, first things first, I'm gonna get some paper towels. We're gonna get this little corner of water and oil and everything pushed down into the grease trap to get it off, to minimize the amount of liquid that we have to get off this smoker, sorry, this griddle, before we get going. So I'm just using some paper towels to get that all cleaned up. Grab any excess water that's touched this. As you can see, it was a little dirty. It had kind of pulled some of that oil off. So now we're gonna reach down. We're gonna get this thing fired up. All right, one eye's on. Two eyes are on. All right, all the eyes are on. We're gonna let this surface heat up before we get going. All right, so we've got all of our eyes burning underneath, ready to go. We're just gonna let it warm up for a few minutes. Okay, so the first step, as you can see, as this is heating up, we definitely got spots that we don't want on our Blackstone surface. So the first things first is I'm gonna put a little oil on, just a smidgen. Then now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put our gloves on because I don't wanna burn my hands today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, we're just gonna move it around and clean all these spots. Clean each and every spot off of this Blackstone that looked like the water had done some damage to it. And this scraper is just gonna take off a little more than a paper towel does. I'm not scraping incredibly hard just because I'm not trying to take a ton of stuff off. I just want to take off a few things, a few blemishes, because the water only set on here for, I don't know, maybe 24 hours. So there was only a few little spots that were really starting to form a little rust and starting to have some blemishes on this griddle. So really, it wasn't that bad, but it definitely needed a little attention or else it would have gotten worse as we went. All right, so now we're gonna finish this off. We've got our griddle surface cleaned or scraped, I would say. And now I'll come back around with some paper towels just to knock off. There's some stuff that you'll see, some of the little particles from that scrubber. So I'm just coming around, knocking them all off, pushing them back into the grease trap, really giving this a nice final cleaning. And I'm no expert on this seasoning. I can already tell you this was my first Blackstone that I bought. And so when I started it, I definitely used too much oil for the seasoning. So my seasoning has been a work in progress, but it's slowly getting there, slowly becoming what I want it to be. All right, so we've got a majority of these particles cleaned off. I'm not seeing any areas that look rusted. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna crank, sorry, this heat's catching me. We're gonna crank these bad boys up to high, and we're gonna just allow, trying to get some paper towels, y'all. We're just gonna allow it to heat up and smoke off all of those that little bit of oil we put on there. And once that smokes off, we're gonna season at least 1, maybe 2 times to allow this surface to reabsorb the oil that we want it to finish getting rid of any and absolutely any rust that might still be on here from the water that's set on this griddle. Okay, so next what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this oil, and this is where I went wrong when I was seasoning my Blackstone. I used an incredibly too much amount of oil initially when I was trying to burn it off. And so I'm trying to do more of a seasoning process than a cooking process here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run a small amount there, grab our clean paper towels, and I'm just gonna work this all over this Blackstone. Make sure you get it all over. You're basically taking away that rust layer. You're allowing it to be infused with more oil and seasoned. Make sure you get your sides. A lot of people forget the sides of the Blackstone when they're seasoning, front, back, and outside. Make sure you wipe it down because you don't want rust on the outside either. All right, so now we're just gonna let it smoke off, and then we'll be ready to start cooking again. So that's it. The griddle was not in terrible shape. We got to it before the rust started getting out of hand on top of the surface, but you definitely want to make sure if water has been sitting on your griddle for more than a couple hours, you want to make sure you clean it properly to make sure you get rid of any of the rust spots that have started to form, and just to clean that surface off, resurface your oil properly. That way you don't have rust in the future as well, because keeping that oil layer properly glazed onto your Blackstone, your surface, is going to keep that rust at bay in future situations when rain or water or mist start getting on as well. So we wanted to scrape that off, put a new layer on, get any rust off as possible. But I hope that you found this useful. I know there's a lot of questions out there about how to season a Blackstone, how to clean a Blackstone, and this is not just an everyday cleaning. This was that worst case scenario, water sitting on your Blackstone for more than 24 hours, rust spots starting to pop up on your surface. You're wanting to kind of re-season all of that, re-clean it. That's my process of how I go through and get it from rust spots on my surface back to cooking condition in just 15 or 20 minutes. So I know there's a lot of different ways out there to do this. So if y'all have a way that y'all recommend cleaning the Blackstone for just an everyday cleaning purpose, or the worst case scenario, water and rust start to get onto your surface, leave it in the comments below. I would love to know how y'all clean your Blackstones, because there's always room to improve. Because as I've said in this video, I'm not an expert when it comes to the seasoning of this Blackstone, but I just thought I would show you guys how I go about cleaning the Blackstone when rust starts to pop up on our surface. That way you get it taken care of before it becomes so bad, because rust is not something you want on your Blackstone. So with that being said, that's going to be a wrap for this video. If you enjoy seeing cooking videos just like this, make sure to smash that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. That way y'all get notified next time we post a video here on the All In Woodsman. We're still here in Gulf Shores. We're still hoping to get some content if the weather will cooperate. So y'all hang on, y'all stay tuned. Make sure, as we always say, no matter what you're doing, whether it's in the outdoors or whether it's something else, just make sure you're all in. We'll catch you guys in the next video.